Well, hello, my name is Jamie. I am here representing the Cambridge Conservation Commission, and today I'm going to talk about three main projects that we've worked on the past year. One of which is our Bring Your Own Cutlery initiative. Another one is our community welcome pamphlet, and then finally a community survey that we've had going out for about the past 6 months or so. To start off, our Bring Your Own Cutlery initiative was funded by a tiny grant where the idea was we want to promote people bringing their own containers and cutlery to the Jeffersonville Farmers Market that runs every week on Wednesday afternoons. And the idea is that if you bring your own cutlery, your own Tupperware, even just a plate from your house, you can get $1 off your purchase at the farmers market. It's entirely funded by the grant and also community donations. You can see we have a little donation jar on the side here that people can contribute to. And we usually get about 3 to 5 participants per farmers market. We would like to see those numbers go up, of course. And some of the challenges that we've come across, one we think is just advertising. We have our stand that talks about this right at the front of the farmers market, so people do see it first, but a lot of the time, especially if they're first timers to the farmers market, they don't know that this is an option. And they show up and they're like, oh, shoot, I totally would have participated, but I don't have anything with me and I'm not going to run all the way home to get a plate or something. Another problem that we came across was we realized we didn't actually connect with our vendors before we applied for the grant and started this going. And there were just, I don't want to say problems, but there was definitely surprises with some of the vendors when people would come up and hand them their own plate and say, hey, can you put the food that you have on my plate instead of in your regular container? So our hope for next year is that we can do better with advertising and just getting this program out there and into the community, and that we can connect with our vendors before the market season starts so that we can figure out how we can better work together to be able to have people bring their own cutlery and plates and things to the market and be able to get food from their vendors. The another big project that we had this past year was our community welcome packet. It is a brochure style. I actually have the pretty much final draft on the next couple slides, but it's just a welcome packet that we wanted to send out to new members of the community. And the main goals of this packet were, of course, to welcome new members and old people that might not be aware of different programs that we have going around, bring awareness to such programs like the cutlery program or the Japanese knotweed eradication project or the waste disposal programs that we have, because every town lets you recycle things differently. So just getting people education on how Cambridge and Jeffersonville operate and the different things that we have available, including local hiking trails. We've got Smuggler's Notch State Park. We've got the Crutch Preserve. We've got so many fabulous outdoor places that honestly, a lot of residents that have even been here a while might not use all of them or might not think of them. So just getting people to know about the projects and programs and things that are available in the community to get them outside, to make them more sustainable, to have them connecting with their community more. This is one side of that brochure I was mentioning. I'll just leave it up for a second so that people can peruse. This is not quite the final version, but this is pretty much what we're hoping to be able to hand out to residents and new folks in town. Like I said, it's a brochure style, so this will be folded and we'll have another side to it as well with more details of different things going on. This is the other side of the pamphlet. A big thing that we have been struggling with, and honestly, we are welcome to ideas if people have any, is the best way to actually disseminate this information to folks, especially because it's targeted towards people that are new to the community. It's not like there's some database that just has every new renter that's in town. So obviously, like we'll have this at our stands when we're at the farmers market. We'll leave it in the town hall and other places that we leave flyers. We'll reach out to local businesses to see if we can leave it on their countertops and in their brochure stands. But just in terms of getting it to people that might not be getting out into town yet, we're kind of figuring out how we can make sure that this pamphlet can get to those folks. Finally, something that was not grant funded at all, but I think was very useful information that we've gotten over the past few months that I think other folks would find useful as well, is our community survey results. We had this out as a QR code in a few different places, but predominantly when we've been going to farmers markets or hosting different events, we ask people to try to fill out the survey and just get a better idea of what events people are interested in, how they're finding out about them, and what makes them want to participate or not in certain events. So it's just a bunch of data. You don't have to read all this text, but the main ideas are that a lot of people are just not super familiar with the different projects and programs and things that ourselves, the Conservation Commission, or other organizations and people in town are running. So that just right off the bat kind of tells us that word is not getting spread as much as we would like about the programs that are happening. Good news is that people do feel welcomed by us and the community, so it's not like they're getting scared away. They're just not even finding out about it in the first place. People have said when they do get information, they mostly get it from and prefer to get it from Front Porch Forum. So I was kind of surprised by these results of just how huge people prefer Front Porch Forum even to email or social media. So I just thought that was very useful. We do use ourselves, Front Porch Forum, a lot, as well as social media and our emailing lists. And we post information on our website and things, but Front Porch Forum and our social media are probably our main ways that we're trying to communicate with the town. When we asked people what kind of events they prefer, we had kind of across the board wide range of interests. We didn't really have any options where people weren't interested at all. People want to do a whole bunch of different things. So I thought that was pretty cool. People are especially interested in educational events and adventurous events. And for things that make people actually want to get involved, the top results were hands-on and educational events. This was the one that I was most interested in and curious about because one of the main projects we've been running besides the two I talked about earlier, community engagement projects, is our Japanese knotweed eradication project. I'm assuming that pretty much everyone here is familiar with Japanese knotweed and the problem that it's caused across the state. But brief summary, it's a crazy invasive. It's very hard to get rid of. It takes a lot of labor to get it out of the system. So we try to regularly have every month or so a meetup where people will meet at a location where there's a lot of knotweed and we'll just hand pull and try to get rid of the knotweed. That, in my opinion, is a very hands-on and educational event, but we've had very poor turnout lately. So going forward, we kind of want to try to figure out why, when the people are saying that they like hands-on and educational events, why are they still not showing up to it? Is it just too overwhelming? Is it at bad times? Is it just that they're not interested anymore? We're not really sure. So that's kind of what we're looking to try to find out more information about in the future. But those are the three main projects that the Cambridge Conservation has been working on lately. Does anybody have any questions?
Thanks so much, Jamie. If folks have questions, feel free to raise your hand or put questions in the chat. I know Jamie threw some questions out for folks as well. If other conservation commissions have had experience sharing information, pamphlets with new folks to your community, how have you gone about doing that? And Alex just posted a question in the chat too about whether and how conservation commissions have the same thing, kind of identified and engaged new residents. So I'd love to hear if folks have reflections on that, if you've done similar work, or if you have a question for Jamie about all of the awesome engagement work that the Cambridge Conservation Commission is doing.
While we wait for a minute, I will go back to the slides that had our pamphlet information on it.
We can all look at the beautiful logo.
I do want to give a shout out. I don't believe she was able to make it today, but our lead board member, Jane, did all of the artwork. So the mountains right there, that's her work, as well as our bird and clover artwork that was all hand-drawn or hand-painted by her.
It's really beautiful. So I'll just note, Cynthia in the chat shared that Shrewsbury Conservation Commission, or Shrewsbury, has a town-wide monthly newsletter that's full of news, is widely read on paper, and is posted on the town website. So that sounds like a helpful way to kind of get information out and start to build a rapport with folks within your community.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm not seeing other questions or hands in the chat. So thank you, Jamie, so much for your presentation.